reflecting on Ghana to start with, the friendly a couple of days ago, you said you were real pleased with different aspects of the game. What's been the message to the players the last couple of days?
No, we usually, the opposition we're going to play now is a completely different opposition to what Ghana was. So we usually move the library quite quick. It's not, we'll go back into that next time we play a team that plays 4 at the back, so now it's 5, so we move back into Macedonia, Kazakhstan, these type of teams that we've played that play a similar way. So we try and move it that way. So not much on Ghana, but obviously myself watching it back, some really exceptional moments, and it's just that little last bit of killing the moment and also keep making those runs. I just felt first half we got a little bit too comfortable when, as you know, as yourself as a player, it's nice to have the ball, so I start moving it and actually know you need to be in this area and you need to be able to make runs because it's going to create space for someone else. If not, it's going to create space for you to have a clear-cut chance, because when you dominate possession the way we are in areas the way we are, we had a good amount of efforts on goal, but we need to be scoring 2-3. And in those periods where we did have them, instead of hitting the post, hitting the bar, they need to go in.
I loved your comments after the game where you claimed it was almost too comfortable at times, and I was thinking, I was a little bit jealous, to be honest. I was thinking, I'm not sure if I ever felt completely comfortable.
I get jealous all the time.
Within the game. So obviously the players are in a good spot, but what you've just said there, does it prove that these players are close to where you want them to be? It's maybe just that clinical edge right at the end of the moves.
Yeah, but I felt they've been there for huge parts of the games we've had them. And I know, like, even if we look at the Belgium game as well, and especially at home, I know people will understand, and we're always a threat on the counter-attack with the players with the profiles they have, but actually if you really look at the detail within the game, the chances we're constantly knocking at the door. You know, if you, like, I can't remember a chance of playing against a top 8 team in the world where we're consistently creating these opportunities, but that's the key moment. Once you're there, you've got to be able to take those opportunities. Now, you know, we don't have a £200 million Haaland who does that for you. Do you understand what I mean? So we have to be creative in a lot of different ways. And if you see where our goals come from, they come from a load of players, because we don't just have that one. Harry's a huge part. We've been too reliant on him as well at times due to his quality. But Kumi then coming in, you know, those moments, that goal's really, really big because he's had some big opportunities. If you look at Sparky, went through the chances he's missed, and it's just those moments of just being cool, being calm, and really that's what we pay the money for. You know, it's these players, and that's why they're the most expensive in the world. But I feel we're not far away from that without having that incredible profile. We're not far away from being able to turn these games, and I think tomorrow, that's really important for us.
You mentioned him there, Lewis Kumas coming off the bench, coming in as a 9, and even before he scored, some of the runs that he was making in between the defenders was brilliant. And also mentioned to Cameron Congreve, who came on and looked really confident. Yeah. You've said you're not going to be in the job forever, but how much pleasure do you take in seeing these young lads who are getting opportunities?
I'm from a development background. Even at the under-21s of Anderlecht, I love this. You know, I love young players breaking into a first-team environment, but also being able to add. There's no point just, and what we've seen, we have a lot, but as you'll know, you never know until you know. As much as we think he's going to be an incredible player, but you've got to give him that opportunity. And sometimes it might not happen straight away. Like the first game, say for instance, Kumi against Northern Ireland, he's better than that. He's got way better quality in that. But then when he comes on now, next game, second game, he wants to prove, and you can tell even in his interviews before that, he's going to do something now. So it's just giving the opportunity, but also not being, oh, suddenly bad 20 minutes, then he's not for us. No, you wait. He's going to, like, they have all the attributes that we feel we're going to need to help us be a better team, and be patient with it.
And I suppose the role of being a substitute, whether it's a friendly or a competitive game, has changed. I know some people use the term finishers, but as a substitute, bigger squads, bigger substitution total that you're allowed to make, that role has changed, and these players have to be ready, don't they?
It's the reality of the world we're living in now. The big nations and FIFA, then you can talk, you have made it comfortable for the big nations. They have to, because they want them at the tournaments. Now, short turnovers, loads of games. Now we're stepping up 4 games in the space of a real small period. Now, if you haven't got the squad, you're going to get tested. That's what they're saying. Well, we can play 2-3 teams now, so we have to build the squad and be consistent in building the squad. The more players we have, the better it's going to be for us, and it's going to give us a better opportunity, because that's the key area of the real top nations, and how they continuously but they're consistent, because they have numbers to pick from. They can move here, move there, and freshen it up, bring 5-6 players on who are game changers as well. But also we'll start them and we can move again, you know, or two games time we can go this one again, you know. I'm not saying we're ever going to be that. I'm not naive enough, but we have to expose more players. We have a bigger squad, so we can make changes during the game, so our intensity can't drop. We have to keep our intensity, because the simple fact, that's our superpower. If we have a lot of players in the Premier League. We have a lot of players in the Championship. So Premier League's round about first. Well, it's not round about. It's clear highest intense league in the world. Now Championship's round about 6-7. Why would we play with a low intensity international football? That's our power. Use the players that are exposed to it. So we've got to recreate that, and especially in games. So that's the part I've been most impressed with. But also the players who come in have to be able to have that. You can't give us this, but you're not very good at that. No, to me that's more important. You've got to be exceptional without the ball. You've got to be high intensity. And then with the ball, I like to believe you would never have got to this stage if you weren't good with the ball. Now we can give you as much of the ball as possible, because you've earned the right for that. Long answer, sorry.
No problem at all. And tomorrow night, Romania, the sort of game that you have to play within qualification campaigns.
Yeah.
It's going to be good preparation, but equally, regardless of the team, the manager, Haji, growing up, what a top player. How much are you looking forward to pitting your wits up against him?
No, honestly, and I'm sure he wouldn't. You don't really look at your teams, your country. What can our country look like tomorrow night? Now, who's going to dominate the game? Who's going to press, restarts? Who's going to be like aggressive? Who's going to dominate the tempo of the game? That to us is the most. It's like, can we come here? Like we've been able to go to North Macedonia, like we've been able. There was big parts in Belgium, apart from the first 35 minutes, 40 minutes, where we were really dominant. But like Kazakhstan, for instance, where we're coming here dominating the game. Now, that's what we're looking for, and that has to live within us. If we don't, and it becomes chaotic, it doesn't suit us. It's not the type of game for us. And then, if we are, and we're controlling it, and we got you deep in your half, can we take our opportunities? That then allows us to be, you know, because there's no point having all the possession if you're not going to win the game and score goals. So, first of all, be dominant, be good in our non-negotiables of with reactions, we sprint, we don't jog. And then once we're in position, we have the ball, we control the tempo because we've earned the right. And then we're working the moments to be able to get clear-cut chances and put them away. And that, to me, would be a perfect evening.
Last one from me, because we've been standing for a long time. My calves are screaming, I'm sure yours are too. Individuals, Dylan Lawler not here.
Yeah.
Ben Davies, Connor Roberts, any chance of those boys playing?
No, I think we might see a bit of Connor. Don't forget, he hasn't really played for a year. But he looks really in good shape, definitely this week. But I did listen, as much as I have a responsibility to their club as well, especially with Ben. He's just a little bit where he is at the present moment. I'm sure he would love to, but again, he has, you know, a few weeks away from returning into Spurs as well, and an important part for him. But we'll check that as it comes through. Dylan's injured. He got injured in the game. I tried to bring him off just before the Ghana goal, unfortunately, but we couldn't because the game was going on so soon as that moment happened. But he's only just picked up a slight nick, so he won't be ready for this game, but no problems for him in the future.
Cool. Pob luck, Craig. Diolch yn fawr.
Okay.